Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Colby from Sanitarium Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. Today we're looking at the 30th anniversary Pursuit of Cobra line, and we have the Black Dragon VTOL with the Cobra Air Trooper for you. Comes in an awesome package here, very cool looking box. I just really have always loved the artwork they used in the Pursuit of Cobra line. The kind of globe looking thing here in the background with the bullet holes and all this stuff is just really awesome. So front looks awesome. The top here, kind of the same artwork. Flipping it over to the back, we've got some of the actual battle features. So it's got a spring activated nose cannon, Cobra Air Trooper, propellers that rotate and spin, dropping bombs, an armored cockpit with heads-up display, and the wings deploy from landing to flight mode. So that's pretty cool. The sides just kind of have the traditional artwork here on the side, and the bottom has some of the other vehicles, the Vamp Mark II. So all in all, pretty cool packaging. But let's go ahead and open this thing up and take a look at it and see what's what with it. Single piece of tape here. And it's upside down, so anyways, the box goes to the trash. And everything has kind of fell out. Then the figure's on the back side here, so we're just gonna go ahead and cut the tape that holds the cardboard holder thing here. And just pop that out. And then this is just trash also. So we got some cool little bags here. And this is basically everything that comes in the set. We will zoom into each of these little bags individually here and take a look at them. So then we'll go and assemble this thing for you and take a look at the figure here. So stick with us. The first bag is the one that has the instruction sheets in it. So we're going to start there. Piece of tape holding this together. So we've got one of the propellers here. The second propeller. And all the paperwork. So we have the file card here, which is nice because we don't have to cut these things out anymore. So that's cool. Nice normal cardboard there. Then we've got the cool instruction sheet here. Pretty straightforward. I'll try to get a scan of this for everybody. And on the back side, all the action features. So I'll note that it's the first time we have not had a sticker sheet. So unless I'm just badly mistaken, there are no stickers for this. So anyways, that's the first bag. Our second bag looks to be the one with all the missiles in it and little accessories. So let's go ahead and open this one up. Again, a single piece of tape here holding it together. And let's just dump it out here. So on mine here, I'll just point out that they also have the pilot's gun here, and it's in a slightly different kind of configuration than I've ever seen here. The actual bag itself has a little piece of whatever holding it there. So it's kind of isolated there, so we're just going to cut that open and get that out while we're here. So you just may want to be sure that you're looking for that so you don't accidentally throw this away without taking that out. It's kind of odd that they do it that way, but yeah, we caught it. So we've got the back piece here. We've got two of the engines. We have a cool looking gun here. The figure stand for the air trooper. Some missiles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these missiles. And the little bitty pistol for the air trooper. So that's everything in that second bag. Our third bag has all the wings and fins and other doodads. So let's go ahead and open it as well. Nothing hiding in this bag, luckily. So we've got the canopy piece here. We've got, I don't know, a fin piece, I guess. Two of those. We've got another one of these things, the side fins, two of those. Two wings. Nice decals already pre-applied here. Painted on. And then the back fin. So yep, that's the last bag we got. This other piece does not come in a bag, but it is rubber banded together, so we're going to go ahead and slice that off for you also. And I guess these are the bomb assortments, which is kind of cool. And there's two of those, so pretty awesome looking, whatever it is. The last piece here also does not come in the bag. It is the just main hull here. Some nice detail work already on this thing, and some nice paint already pre-applied. And cool, another little gun here. Spring loaded, so that's pretty awesome. So we'll go ahead and just go ahead and start assembling this thing for y'all. So stick with us. Time to assemble this bad boy. So we'll go ahead and start just at the very beginning here. Step one is attach tail section. So we have the main body here. On the back side here, you'll notice a little hook kind of thing. And then there's a large opening on the back. Then the tail section itself is this piece here. And it's got these little tabs on it. And you'll notice there's a wheel here. So the wheel obviously will go to the bottom. So just take that, line that up, and snap it in place. And there you go. Tail assembly assembled. Step two. Slide horizontal stabilizer into place. So we previously assembled this earlier. So we'll take our horizontal stabilizer, and so if you'll notice here, as far as the paint goes, there's a little red bit here. That's the top. Or you can also go by this little tab indentation thing on it right here. If you'll flip it over to the back side, you can also just see that there's the kind of exhaust kind of thing. I suppose that's what that is. So anyways, just line that up. And in the back side of here, you've got, if you'll notice, I don't know if we can see that or not, but there's a little tab indentation right there, which lines up with this little bit here. So just line that up and snap it in place. Step three, attach right and left rudders to stabilizer. So these pieces here are the actual rudders. There's two of them, so one's left and one's right. I don't see anything marking which is which, so just going by the way things look here, you'll want the little red pieces to go to the back, and that pretty much just lines up correctly. So just line that up like so, and then just snap it in place. And you'll notice that there are a couple of these little round knobby things. Top and bottom, so it doesn't really matter, but on the stabilizers themselves, you'll also notice that there is little round holes there, so that's just what locks it in place here. So just line that up and snap it in there, and you're good to go. So yeah. Cool. Step 4. Attach right and left bomb compartments. So our bomb compartments are these cool looking bomb canister things that lock in place. There's two of those. And they are identical, except that they are, mirror images of one another. So you'll want the no step to go to the outside. So if you flip this thing onto its side here, on each side you've got this little piece down here at the bottom with this little red looking tab thing here. So we'll just take one of these things, and you'll want essentially the thing that looks like the vent here to face the rear of the vehicle. And all you got to do is turn that up like so, with the no step on the top, I guess I would say. Then you just line this up with these, there's these tabs here, and there's the tab holders inside there. Just line that up. And press it in place. And you'll notice that the little latch mechanism is now down here on the bottom. So that allows you to get in there and, I guess, activate this somehow. With this little mechanism up here, which we'll get to in a minute. But so there's the one piece. We'll go ahead and do the other side here. I'm just going to flip it upside down. So again, the thing that looks like the vent is facing the rear of the vehicle. Line up the tabs. And what I've found is it actually helps to kind of tilt this thing at an angle so that the actual compartment is facing a little bit more towards the bottom here, and it slides in there real easily then, and it should just lock in place. So there you go. Step 5, attach canopy. So we've got our canopy piece here, and it will go onto the front of our main whatever ship thing here. So the way this attaches is there's this little red doohickey up here at the front. That's actually what the hinge joint goes to. So on the back side of the actual canopy itself, you'll notice there's these two little hinge joints here on the front. So we're just going to line that up with this piece here, and that should be what locks it in place. So just kind of line that up, one on each side, and just kind of push on it until it locks in place. And there's not really a good way to get in here to show you the angle on this, but it should just snap in there like that, and then it'll fold down and lock in place like so. And it kind of rocks forward there. It seems to fit a little loose here, but I guess that's okay. So yeah, there's the canopy piece. Step 6, attach wing sections together. Attach left and right wings as shown. Attach cannon as shown. So we've got the wing sections here, and there are the two pieces here. So the way this works You've got these tab joints here, and the other piece of the tab joint on this side here. You can see that okay. And then what you'll want to do is line up, if we can see the actual angle here, get the light on it. If you'll notice on here, there is this groove that's part of the detail work, and it carries on over into this piece here. So you just want to line those two indentations up and just snap that in place like so. Do that for both sides. Find your groove there, and then that line that extends on over, and just line these two pieces up and snap them in place. Pretty straightforward. Nice. Then we've got the cannon piece here. We'll go ahead and do it first. The cannon just fits on the bottom here. So we're going to flip this upside down. At the front, the furthest away from these two landing gear pieces, there's this little hole, peg hole. So you just line up the peg on the bottom of that cannon and just press it in place, and there you go. Still rotates and everything, but that's pretty much all there is for that one. Flip it back up on its top. And now we take these pieces here, and they will, on the back side of them, there's this little red peg. So you'll line that peg up with the peg hole here in the front and just snap it in place. As far as the way these things are oriented, doesn't really say too much about that. So we're going to assume that the little angle bit here, so from the piece we just attached that has the red joint on it, it should curve outward, so it's larger to the front and gets skinnier as it goes out. So that'll be the, whatever this side is, my left at this point. So anyways, just line that up and just snap it in place. Actually goes pretty well. And you can also notice that it will come to the very beginning of this thing. So there's this little flat piece right here. The front end of this should line up pretty well with that. So if there's any question, just kind of line those two up as well. And just press down on that. And it's kind of at an angle here. So it's not going down flat. It's going kind of at an angle. If you can see that or not. But anyways, that is how we attach it there. And as you can see, it's got a fairly large wingspan here. So then the no steps would point to the back side. And there's the Cobra symbol. So yeah, there we go. Step 6 done. Step 7, attach turbines to wings. So turbines are these guys. Danger exhaust on them. Yeah, so that's what we got here. There's 2 of those. And so there is a red peg hole on these things on only one piece here, not counting the front. So that's what we will line up with the actual engines themselves facing the rear of the vehicle. So in this case, we'll go to this side here, and on the far side of the wing here, we've got another one of those red peg things. So we just line these up and just press it in place, and it should lock in there. We'll do the same thing for the other side. Locks in place, and there you go. You got your turbines. This thing's getting to be rather large. Step 8, attach rotors to turbines. So we have our cool looking rotors right here, 2 of those. If we grab the vehicle and find these here turbines, as far as I know, there's not any difference left or right on these things, but they have those same red tabs on them. You just line that up with the red tab holes here on the actual turbines and just lock them in place. And they should spin freely once you do that, so that's cool. Do the same thing to the other side. That's pretty much all there is to it there. Spin, spin, spin. Very cool looking so far. But actually that's pretty much the end of the instructions there, so we're good to go except for loading in the bombs and everything else. So yes, we'll go through all the actual features and everything here in just a moment, so stick with us. Let's go ahead and start looking at some of the action features of this thing. We're going to start with the cockpit. The cockpit opens and the figure fits inside. So we're just going to pop that thing open and you've got your cockpit there. So we'll grab our Cobra Air Trooper and just kind of slide him in here. Seems to fit in here without any problem. Lots of room in there. Really nicely detailed cockpit. Very cool looking joystick there. Nice little display there. The blue works pretty well. Then just snap that back in place and you're good to go. So only fits one figure, but that's really all you need. You may have to bend his legs a little bit to get him to go in here with out his helmet catching on that canopy. Kind of squish him in there pretty good. Otherwise, he's going to press up on that canopy and pop it loose if you're not careful. So, and again, mine's a little bit loose there anyways, so but it seems to catch there, so you just want to probably watch out for that in any of the ones that y'all have, but not that big of a deal. It should still hold in place for the most part, I think. But yeah, there you go. So the next action feature is the what they call landing mode and flight mode. Essentially, we've got spring activated wings here. So what you do is to put it into the landing mode, you have to do this manually. You just kind of pull back on the wings. Again, they're on that little hinge joint there. You just kind of pull back until you hear them click. Like that. It sounds a little weird, but that is landing mode. And then to go into flight mode, you find the little button here. It looks like a screw, essentially. It's the second one back, the one closest to the rear. You just press that, and the wings pop out into flight mode. So it's kind of a cool little feature. It still seems to me like it sounds weird when I do that, almost like you're going to break the thing, but it still works. And then you just press the button and plop, plops right out. So that's pretty cool. The next action feature is the actual bomb dropping mechanism here. So as we kind of showed you real earlier on, these two things here are the bombs, and they are actually tied to this first button at the top. So when we press that button, it's kind of a double mechanism there, so you have to push it twice to get both of them to pop loose. But these things just unlatch at that point, and the bombs would fall out. So you just take and grab 4 of these bombs per side. I don't guess it really matters too much which orientation, but stick them in there, lock that back in place. We'll grab our other bombs here. Lock it in place. Then let's see here. How can we show you all this? Doesn't matter. So we're gonna go ahead and drop the bomb. So bomb 1, bomb 2. It's kind of cool. It does work, so that's pretty interesting. I don't know. I'll see if I can find a better way to show y'all this. Top-down view doesn't work really well for that. But it's a cool little action feature anyways. And you just reload it like normally. The other part that I will point out here is there is this little cannon thing here. and it's actually supposed to deploy at the same time that you deploy the bombs. There's a little lock mechanism in there, but it's tied to that same button. So when you press that, and you can't see it really well, I know, but so this cannon is supposed to pop out and spring forward like that. On mine, however, it seems to get caught right here on the edge every single time. So I press the button, it gets there and stops. And you got to manually take it the rest of the way. So I don't know if that's just an issue with mine or if anybody else has had the same problem or not, but it is a little bit of an aggravation. You basically got to get in there with your finger and pull it out at that point. But it's a cool thought. It just doesn't work really well. So I don't know. I may have to go in there and file that off or something here. But it's essentially getting caught on this little lip here for whatever reason. I don't know, it may work free after a while, but pretty consistent anyways. So there you go, that's the gun barrel thing. So again, it's a cool concept, it just doesn't necessarily work all that well. But what you gonna do? The next action feature is the actual rotating propellers. So let's turn this thing around here. So these things actually do rotate. So it's again vertical takeoff and landing, so you can turn it any which way you want and then spin it like a helicopter and take off that way. So it's kind of a cool thing. I don't know what that would be like if you have it back in this position here. If this is supposed to be landing mode, I guess that still works. Just looks a little bit weird. Seems like it would be a little front heavy in that case, but still, it's kind of a cool thing. So it takes off, and then you can rotate those things back around. So still kind of a cool thing. It's a neat little feature there. The last action feature is actually the landing gear here. So it's not really that much of an action feature, but it is a point. So you do have retractable landing gear here on the back side, and you just pull that open with your finger and lock it in place. On the front, there's just this one little bitty wheel here, so you just do the same thing, and it just barely pops out. So it's not got a lot going for it there in the front, but still it's there. So yeah, do what you want with it, but the wheels are this that hard plastic here, so you're not going to get a whole lot of traction or anything with it, but it does kind of roll fairly well. So nothing too bad there. So again, I wouldn't really call that an action feature, but you do have landing gear, so. We'll go ahead and pull the air trooper guy out here. So again, he's still in his little cardboard shell here. On the back side, we've got two of these clear rubber bands. So we're just going to cut those off real quick. Flip it back over, and he should just lift right out. And we'll pull the rubber bands off of his legs here. And looks like we're good there. So this will become recycling material now. So let's see. Let's take a look at the actual figure stand itself here. This is pretty straightforward 25th anniversary release figure stand. Got the cool Cobra logo on the top and the Cobra Air Trooper code name on the front. Other than that, nothing really special about that, but it is nice that they are including these things, because too many of the Rise of Cobra line did not include those. Accessory wise, he just has this one little pistol. It's got a bare minimum of details, but there are some there, so it's kind of a slightly sci-fi looking feel to it here, but still a kind of cool looking pistol. Fits in his hand rather easily compared to a lot of these that we've seen in the past. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all you get there accessory wise, but he's a pilot, so what does he need, right? So taking a look at the actual figure itself, we've got a lot of cool detail work on this thing. Jumpsuit and everything, flight suit, very cool looking. They got a little tab here for somebody else's web gear, I guess, that they fixed this guy from, but still very cool looking detail work here. Some cool patches and pouches and stuff on his sides here, some extra magazine clips for a gun that he doesn't have. But yeah, it looks really cool. And I do like the helmet here. They got some nice detail work here in the helmet. This guy's legs are a little bit loose on mine, but that's okay. As far as articulation goes, the head does spin 360 degrees. Nothing holding him back there, even though he's got the cool flight suit. Up and down works pretty well as also. Really nice looking helmet here. Traditional ball and swivel at the shoulder joint. Traditional ball and swivel at the elbow joint. Though his weird elbow pad there kind of gets in the way a little bit, but not too badly. Then it looks like just a regular swivel joint at the wrist. All in all, not bad. Does have waist twist or chest articulation, I guess is where that is, but and I guess there is still a little bit of that ab rock feature going on there. The web gear kind of limits it a little bit here, or mainly where it catches here on his parachute pack. Traditional T-hook at the hip joint. Again, mine's a little bit loose, but articulation is there, free movement there. Does have a double knee joint. And the traditional swivel and rocker at the ankle. So very cool looking articulation. Very nice indeed here. Because of his knee pads here, his leg doesn't extend all the way out, so he's slightly bow-legged a little bit here, which is not that big a deal here, but just something to point out there. A little odd that they chose to do it that way, but it still works fine. All in all, it's a pretty cool looking figure. I do like the way they did the helmet on this thing. And I do wish he had a holster for his pistol, but not that big a deal really. He can still hold it and fly his airplane. So yeah, all in all, not a bad looking figure here. So that is basically the Black Dragon VTOL. It's a pretty cool looking vehicle. It's actually a rather large vehicle. I didn't actually expect it to be as big as it is here. So just taking a look for size comparison wise, the figure here that comes with it. So it's 1, 2, 3, almost 4 figures long by, what is this, 1, 2, 3, about 4 figures wide, not counting the propellers here. Has room for 1 figure inside of it. Some cool action features with the dropping bombs and everything, and even though this thing say no step, you can have them stand on there, so that's kind of cool. So all in all, I actually really do like this thing. The paint job looks really nice. It's a cool concept. It very much seems to me like a new revision of the Fang 2. And I have to say it actually works pretty well for what it is. So yeah, this is a kind of a cool vehicle here. They don't cost that much right now, or at least they didn't last time I checked. So if you can get this thing for a decent price, again, that's all a relative term, but I would say I would recommend picking this thing up. It is a cool looking vehicle, and it's a nice little addition to your Cobra fleet. I do wish they had a little bit more stickers on here, and it's got a couple of drawbacks. Again, the landing gear seems to fold up on the front way too often. The canopy doesn't quite latch in place the way it should, and when you press down on it, that click you hear is the landing gear folding up. That's the landing gear. So yeah, I mean, it's still a kind of cool concept here, and I do like the color scheme they chose for this thing, and the bomb dropping mechanism is really awesome, and you get a pretty cool figure with it. So all in all, yeah, it's a recommended buy. So pick it up if you haven't already. I think you'll enjoy it. That's all the time we've got today, so thanks for watching. Drop us some comments down below to let us know what you think of this Black Dragon VTOL and the Cobra Air Trooper. Have y'all run into the same problems I ran into while I was assembling this thing? Does your cannon work any better than mine? You know, what's your just overall opinion of this thing? Just feel free to comment down below, let us know. Like, subscribe, share, whatever you feel like doing here. Let people know that we're out here and that we're doing these things. So if you'd like to see anything special in the future, drop that in the comment section as well. I'll see if I can get to it once I get through all the rest of the stuff I got in the pipeline here. And yeah, just keep on the lookout for new and awesome G.I. Joe action figure reviews and other miscellaneous things coming down. So till next time, Yo Joe.